Hey, so Charlotte Tilbury is not wrong. I know she's catching a lot of heat on this app because she said how the dupes are not the same as the high end, but she's right. She's right. It's not, it takes more than just having the same ingredients in a product to be the same as the product. It's about how it's compounded, it's about the other ingredients that are in there and how it's the vehicle to get onto your skin. It takes a lot, and to say that just because it was made in the same factory that it's the same product, that doesn't make sense either, because you can make a box mac and cheese and a cacio e pepe in the same kitchen, and those two things are very different. As someone who has very sensitive skin, as somebody whose skin tone is always challenging to match, even in my younger days when I couldn't afford higher end things, I would get drugstore products. And even if I would get something close to a match, it would always dry down and just look grayish and just look cheap and just lay like chalk on my skin. Like, the products were not great. I think the best thing I ever got from the drugstore was like the Maybelline makeup eraser concealer. And just as I got older, it just stopped working for me and my skin and my skin needs. And we cannot say that it's just enough to have the same ingredients. Like, I follow Nina Poole. I love Nina Poole. I follow that other beauty creator who does all of the drugstore makeup dupes. I think she's great. And I just love watching their content, but it can never work for me because it's not the same. And I love that it does work for them. I love that they can recreate, super expensive makeup looks at pennies to the dollar. That's amazing. And I'm glad that they're putting that content out there for people who need that, and for people to be able to have access to good beauty and good makeup. But it's just not the case for everybody. Especially after my skin changed when in my 40s, where even some of the higher end stuff I was using, I couldn't use anymore just because of the preservatives in it. And because of the essential oils, like for the smells, everything needs to be perfumed because you need to have a high end luxury feel. That wasn't working well for me, so I had to be super particular about making sure it was clean. Clean beauty is hard to find in drugstore. And as far as the luxury and like super high end stuff, they've been quietly reformulating it to be clean beauty because the formulation just matters. It matters more than you think. It's more than just being able to have, well, it's the same finish or it's the same coloring or it gives the same effect. It doesn't mean it's the same thing. So I have to agree with Charlotte Tilbury on this one. Drugstore makeup or beauty products don't work the same for everybody. And it's the reason why when I started my tretinoin journey, I didn't just go and get a prescription from tretinoin and run to the drugstore, because I know that the vehicle that tretinoin is transferred in matters. And I've heard horror stories about people with like, well, I have the tretinoin that's with the ointment and my skin broke out, or I had the tretinoin with the cream and that clogged up my pores even more. Like, the other ingredients used to transfer that main active ingredient matters. So I went with Musely, and because I wanted to have a very clean, compounded experience, and it was great. So much so that I also recently ordered their azelaic acid, a prescription strength azelaic acid with them. So that should be coming in soon, and I'll talk more about that once it comes in and share my experience. But all that to say is that drugstore makeup and beauty care, it's not always necessarily clean, and it doesn't always work for everybody, and it doesn't lay or give the same finish or have the same effect on your skin that it does for everybody. Some people have the kind of skin that you could put anything on there and it always looks great. You never break out. You're God's favorite, and I'm not. So for those of us who are not God's favorite and who need the extra care of the quality of the higher quality, high end stuff, that's for us. And it's not to knock anyone's experience. Again, I follow those creators with the drugstore dupes. And again, I love Nina Poole and I've taken on some of her recs for certain things. But not everything's for everybody. And I think that's okay. And I don't think we need to give Charlotte Tilbury heat over it because she's not wrong. It's just not the same. Like, the fact that it's certain makeup products could be made, the high end stuff made in the same factory as the lower end stuff, that doesn't matter. It's the way things are made, the way the ingredients are put together. Again, Gordon Ramsay can have the same 3 ingredient pasta that I have, and it tastes totally different just because the way we put the ingredients together. And I just don't want that to be lost on people. Like there's a method to the madness. So yeah, those are my 2 cents.